What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you.
What are my options again? Sorry. With Cory.
I hope everyone has a ball.
Kevin. Don't listen to Steffan and his friends. And Steffan.
There's the Max, which is this household. I've never once called you. I actually wanted to talk.
You said Pacers.
There's a no-hitter right now. Bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
You know it's bad. Kevin's correcting people on the pronunciation of names. You know you're in trouble. You, sir, are god awful.
That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. It's time! Here we go.
Hey.
You know, I just thought about it. Should have the Game of Thrones soundtrack, but you know, tired of getting pulled off.
How are you, Cory?
It would have been fitting, but
It
that's
would've
all
been. I just realized that we've only got 14 minutes before we have to deal with the Grumpus Steffan, so let's get right into
I know.
this. Episode 121, Game of Thrones spoilers to start the show, because, you know,
Yeah, if you do not want to hear spoilers, skip 14 minutes ahead.
if you're watching, there's a little thing. Otherwise, skip 14 minutes, like Cory said. And let's just get into it. We're up to episode 4 now. I mean, so much is going on. In an episode I thought was going to be more of a, like, I guess, I don't know what I would call it, like...
I thought it was going to be a setup episode for episode 5, basically. Turned into a little more than that. We saw a little more action. I don't know if action, but suspense.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there and you're all happy-go-lucky, music's playing, and then, boom, all of a sudden, down goes the dragon. I thought already had died, so, not gonna lie, wasn't too sad about it, but, you know.
No, I figured they were going to have to kill him off, because if they had... I still think the other one dies. I think if they live, then it kind of leaves us to believe that Daenerys has a really strong advantage.
Or does she? Because
Well, now with the bows, I'm not so sure.
we have the bows, and then we also have, before everything going on, we had a little side action going on, I guess you could call it, between Tywin and what's his face? Not Tywin, obviously. Oh God, why am I blanking
Tyrion?
on names? Tyrion and Littlefinger, not Littlefinger, but God, too many names to remember. The bald guy.
Oh, yeah.
Why
I
can't
don't remember his name.
Well,
I just know he has no manhood.
let me scroll through the list here. See if I can find it. It's not him. It's not Yara. Ferris. Ferris is who I was thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about tyranny.
Mm-hmm. And how Jon Snow, while he is the rightful heir, obviously has that leadership quality. The better for the whatchamacallit, the Seven Kingdoms.
So I have a question about that. It's actually, we can relate it right into sports.
All right.
Would you want the captain of your team to be the best player on your team? Which would kind of mean Daenerys, I think, is probably like the best, because she has the dragon. She's the most powerful on the team at this point. Or would you rather have the captain of your team be the one that has leadership qualities that the rest of your team would rally behind.
You want the leadership quality type.
I think.
Yeah.
Am I there?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's an interesting question, though, because I've noticed in sports a lot of the time the captain is the best player.
I mean, I would take Jon Snow just because he's got that leadership quality. Just because you're the best player, I mean, when you think of Golden State, you don't think of Kevin Durant being the leader. You think of Steph Curry,
Yeah.
who arguably isn't the best player.
I was going to say, even on a lesser note, Draymond, he seems to be the
Yeah.
one that can get the team riled up and fight. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I would choose Jon Snow myself, but I'm sure there's people out there that would believe to keep Daenerys. Well, and at this point, it seems like she is.
Yeah.
Tyrion really doesn't want to go against her. I don't know if it's because of, like Ferris said, if he's scared of her, or if he just wants to fulfill his promise to her and just remain loyal. He doesn't owe Jon Snow anything.
No.
Daenerys could have killed him and saved his life.
Cersei, obviously, hands down in control of the right now. I mean,
yeah, she has full control of the war at this point.
we honestly thought what's her face was gonna die anyway in the first war there, so not huge spoiler.
I actually thought her boyfriend there, Grey Worm, was gonna die too, but
or yeah, one or the other. And then when she got captured, it was just like, oh, she's dead.
Yep.
So let's go through a rundown of, because we have 2 episodes left. Who we think's gonna make it? This is like kind of like a ranking type deal too. So that's the order I'm going in off of this website. Obviously, we have Jon Snow. Do we think we're gonna see him make it to the end?
Yeah, I feel like Jon Snow's the lead of the show. I think he'll end up being the rightful heir to the Iron Throne.
I mean, he's already died once, so you know.
Yeah.
Then you have Daenerys or Dany.
I don't think she dies.
You don't think she dies?
I don't think she becomes queen of the round. Well, I guess if she marries Jon Snow, she would anyways. But
this one is kind of interesting just because you don't know exactly what's going on. You have Sansa. She doesn't like Dany.
No. Do I think Sansa dies in the final war? I just can't picture how. I'm saying Sansa lives.
Sansa lives. I think I'm gonna agree. I think it's gonna be not the 7 kingdoms afterward. I think they're all gonna be like separate, maybe, but equal. Answering to Jon Snow.
I think Sansa and Bran will rule the North.
Yeah. Then you got Arya, who rode off with Hound. There.
I think Arya dies.
You think Arya dies?
I think her big shining moment was what she did with the Night King. I don't think we're going to see a shining moment from Arya. And kind of when she wouldn't commit to Gentry and then basically just said, nah, I'm a fighter. This is what I'm going to do my whole life. I think that kind of like is laying the groundwork for she's going to die a warrior.
You'll see if she... See, I think she might be the one to kill what's her face, Cersei.
The Mountain.
Oh. Or the Mountain, yeah, one of the 2.
I mean, that's why she's riding off, right? Or is she riding off to kill Cersei?
I don't know.
I can't remember who's last on her list. I thought it was the Mountain. She told the Mountain she was going to kill him one day, I think.
Maybe.
That's why I can't tell who's going to kill the Mountain, the Hound or Arya. It might take both of them.
Yeah. I mean, the Hound's kind of got to help brotherly love and all.
Mm-hmm.
We got Braun. You said Braun was gonna live. I think he's pretty much done at this point. Like no one's gonna. What's he got to do?
I don't think Cersei has. The only thing that I think would be fitting is if Bran somehow kills Jaime, because Jaime's gonna ride against them now,
Hmm.
which I thought was interesting. True love. Jaime chose true love.
True love. I just don't see her making it to the end. I feel like
Who?
Cersei.
Yeah, I don't think she makes it. Someone's killing her too.
Mhm.
I just don't know if it's going to be Dany or Jon Snow, or even Tyrion.
With that, I think Jaime also dies somehow.
I do too. Well, wouldn't be surprised if Brienne is the one that kills Jaime.
Yeah. Then you got Tyrion.
He's one of the toughest ones for me. I don't know if he's gonna live or die, because like we were saying, this is the end. This is the end war. Like who really comes out?
Yeah.
I don't know if Tyrion is gonna make it through.
I think he might. I think he's gonna be the hand of whoever.
His rules.
Yeah. Let's see here. Bronn.
I think he lives.
He seems to make enough deals to manage to stay
If
alive.
he was gonna die, I think the Night King was gonna get him. That was his biggest storyline. Now there's really no reason to kill him off.
Yeah. Davos Seaworth.
Yeah, he dies.
You think?
Think so.
I think he might take out what's his face there, the sea captain.
The one that's banging Cersei.
Yeah. Someone we haven't seen yet, Yara.
You think that's what's his name's sister, right?
Yeah, great Theon.
Yeah. Theon's sister. I don't know what's gonna happen with her.
She's currently being held captain by her uncle Euron is his name.
Oh, I think she dies fighting for her brother's honor, though. She's gonna kill some people and then die.
Do you think Varys makes it?
I don't like his character. I hope not.
Gendry, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna live.
Maybe he
they
becomes.
Really like written him in as a good soul, and he does have a. I think they'll give him a kingdom, which they already did.
Yeah.
But
maybe he becomes the king.
he could.
Gregor the Mountain.
There's no way he makes it. He's dead.
Tormund, the guy from the bearded dude from the Wildlings. He went back north. Do you think we'll see him ever again?
I don't know. I think. I hope not, because that means he lives. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we see him again, he dies.
Oh,
I'll throw that out there.
bold prediction. I don't think we'll see him again. And if we do, it's because Jon went to say how he's the new king or whatever. Brienne
dies.
dies.
Saving Sansa.
I'll agree with that. I'll take that. Who else we got? Podrick. Come a long way since early introduction into the series.
That's Brienne's right-hand guy, right?
Yeah.
I think he dies.
I'm going to say he still lives. I feel like the passive knowledge.
We think Sam lives?
Yeah, because I think he's staying up north, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Sam lives too. I'm not sure we see him again until like the end when the war's over and he's congratulating whoever the king is or queen.
Yeah.
What about Littlefinger? Is he dead already?
Yeah, he's been dead.
Okay. Well, I guess I forget who killed him.
He died
She
last
poisoned
season.
him? Sansa?
Something like that. No, sliced it. What's his face? What's her face? Arya sliced his throat.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I blanked on that.
Because I didn't remember it until I rewatched the series again. I was like, oh my god. Dario, the guy that Danny left back on the other side of the water. Do you think we see him again?
No.
You don't think that's the whole comeback?
Mm-mm.
And you said you believe all the dragons are dead, so there's no need to ask you about Drogo.
I have one question. What's the deal with the witch just killing herself? I didn't understand the symbolism or why she even. I'm just to make her prediction true. I don't know why she did it.
Maybe she was just tired. I mean, it's about a song of fire and ice, and the ice just died. So what's the point of still having fire? I don't know.
That's true. Actually, that's one of the better explanations I've heard. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that's so weird. You're alive. Like, you could keep going.
Like, now it's just about the Game of Thrones and not the fire and ice.
Mm-hmm.
Like the series is supposedly about. Do you think Euron makes it? The uncle?
Whose uncle?
Theon's uncle?
Oh.
Euron?
No.
No. I'm just looking through some other miscellaneous. Oh, we never really saw the Faceless Man. The Faceless Man never died. Do we see him again? Possibly take out Arya?
I don't think we see him again.
And what else we got here? I think that'll do it. I do like that they moved the Night King all the way to 52 out of all the characters.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back.
I think he's done. All right. Let's see if
if he comes back, that prolongs the series, so he's not going to come back.
Yeah, right. Let's get Steffan on here. I think we're done with spoilers.
All right.
While we do that, let's review. Steffan, we are ready for you. All right. Question of the week from me. Last week's question was, what means more to you, series finale of Game of Thrones or Avengers Endgame? Over 8 people voted for this, and 7 of them said Avengers Endgame.
Who's the one vote? Because I didn't vote.
The one vote was Jason, our golf expert. So apparently, bigger Game of Thrones, not into, well, more into mythical dragons than.
Well, he and I both.
than the actual Avengers. Sorry, just waiting for Steffan to join now, so I can get my screens ready. And there he is to save the day. Maybe. Well, look at this guy. Can't hear him. Oh. Well, maybe we'll get his voice back someday. But he's got a new setup.
The voiceless man.
I saw damn it. Oh, he's blurry. Not very blurry anymore.
Hello.
There we
There
go.
he is.
There is the
I'm here.
artist formerly known as Steffan in his new studio. This studio.
I got a little casting couch there behind me.
Whoa.
My
Other podcast.
oh yeah, that's the other podcast I got going on the side there.
All right. Well, this question of the week pertains to your lack of catching up on Game of Thrones for this week. It is, is it? Well, first of all, we were just talking about last week's, which was overwhelmingly Avengers Endgame was more look forward to than Game of Thrones series finale. This week, is it acceptable to spoil a TV show if the person is a few years behind? Currently at 50-50 with 2 and 2 last I checked before we started.
It's an awful question. Everybody should agree with that one.
That it's perfectly acceptable to spoil a
That
TV
it's
show?
not acceptable at all.
I mean, I feel like if you don't try, then
I have tried. What do you mean?
What do you mean you've tried? You have not tried.
I told you. I sat down one night a while back and started to watch.
And you saw a loading screen and gave up. That's not tried.
That was trying.
That's quitters.
I was also tired and I was going to fall asleep, so I decided not to do that. Well, listen, I got like 5 days off in a row.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to watch any of it.
Apparently Alexa is excited for your 5 days off in a row.
Yeah, see?
Either that or I just ordered something that I'll probably get a notification about soon here. What's that?
So it's set in my way.
Before we get into NBA playoffs talks, though, this came up during Game of Thrones talks, and I think I'm going to throw the question to you, which is, what's more important when you look in a leader? Someone that can basically have all the power, is a good player, obviously comes through for you when you need it most, or is it someone that has leadership abilities and can push the whole team as a whole to that point?
Basically,
so they're not necessarily like super like.
They're like, it's not going to be the best player on your team. Like, let's say a Derek Fisher was the captain of the Lakers, which he wasn't. It actually was Kobe and Shaq. But let's say it was him instead of one of them. Do you believe in that, or do you believe in it's your best player who may not be a good leader, like Jay Cutler, that, for example, has horrible leadership ability, but was normally the best player on his offense?
Definitely leadership.
Yeah. So
questionably the best player on his offense.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Marshall, I guess at times could have been the best player.
I mean,
I told Kevin I think it's a tough question because there's some teams would rather see a leader that leads by example, which would be your best player.
That's what I was just going to say. Some people, that's how they lead, is by being the best and by their actions and how they play. And that kind of gets other people, that's how they get other people motivated to play harder.
Right.
I mean, if I have to choose, which is what I think you guys are trying to get me to do here, and not just agree with both of them, as I would like to do. I think I would take the more talented. I would take the more talented player that just kind of leads by example.
So you would take the best player on the team.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would do.
All right.
That's currently the debate for the Game of Thrones. They're trying to decide between who to lead them, and it's kind of their best player or the one who everyone would follow because of his leadership ability.
All right.
Or her. His or her.
His or her leadership.
Yes.
You're the worst.
I tried, Steffan.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones talk ended 20 minutes ago. What do you mean it doesn't matter at this point? It does matter.
You ain't catching up.
You know what's awful is, like, everywhere I go, people are talking about it too. Like, I was at work, That's all everybody's talking about.
Because it's the cool thing.
I got
Samantha had to work
and
Sunday night.
everybody's like, "Oh my god, did you watch Game of Thrones?" I'd be like, "All right, I gotta go. I'm out."
Samantha had to work Sunday night. She said all their patients were watching it.
Yeah. No, I worked Sunday, and like a bunch of the people working there were like, the only thing that's getting me through today is Game of Thrones is on tonight. Jesus. But they're like trying to like talk about it. I'm like, all right, this patient's good. Like I was transporting a patient. I was like, all right, I'm out. This patient's good. It's all yours now. See ya. I'll get caught up eventually.
Well, by then you'll forget about this podcast, and I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually the point of being so far behind. Is eventually I'll just I might go back and watch Breaking Bad now. Now that everybody's done watching Breaking Bad, I don't really know how it ended. I might go back and watch Dexter at some point. I don't know. You know, just how I roll.
You don't want to go watch back that last season
I'd
of
have to go
Dexter.
back and watch Breaking Bad too, Steffan. I stopped after season 3.
Did you? I actually watched like the entire thing. I think up until the final episode, which was like everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's like the greatest final episode ever."
That's what I hear.
Because they didn't really leave anything hanging.
Right. The way a show should end.
Yeah, not like The Sopranos.
Where they just
fade to black. Is that guy there to kill him?
Yeah, that's an awful way to end a series.
Dogfish Tall Boy.
Yeah, look at this thing. It's not even a tall. It's 19.2 fluid ounces. Thing's bigger than my face.
Yep.
Very nice.
Found it yesterday grocery shopping.
The can's not bad too.
I didn't puncture any cans this episode, so
Nice.
No beer was harmed.
All this time.
I looked all over for Brewdog down here. I can't find it.
No.
That's terrible.
It is. Probably gonna have to move back.
Yeah, I would. I might just move to Scotland so I can get it fucking fresh.
Well, just move to the hotel.
Yeah. True. Where'd you say? That's in Ohio, right?
I think Cleveland area.
Yeah, we looked up Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going at some point.
I would. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Remember we looked up the prices and they were really reasonable.
Yeah. You want to go after your wedding? I got some time off.
A Steffan and Cory honeymoon. Nice.
It'll be my wedding gift to just you.
Thanks. Maybe your mom will just wedding gift Samantha.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. What do we got here? We're going into some NBA action.
Let's do it.
I don't want to get into it. Fucking killing me.
Well, Paul Pierce cursed you guys.
Coming back a little bit. NBA one and done. I better pick my pick. We'll talk about that. I'm like back in the conversation at least.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have one person that chose to just fall straight out of the conversation.
I know. Who are you talking about? Gary or
Sean?
Gary's actually picking, but just awful.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say. Gary's in last place now.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got whatever was on you off of you and gave it to Gary.
I've almost caught up to Sean. With Sean getting 2 zeros, I still haven't caught him. Sad. That is sad.
Sorry, Brewer's seeing a cat
One time
outside.
I was literally talking to him like half hour before the game started, and he just completely forgot to do it.
You want to go get him?
And then the other time he thought that the game started at 7:30 and the game started at 7. It's like, dude, just make your fucking picks in the morning. Like, if you're gonna do them day by day, just make your fucking pick in the morning, and then you gotta wait. Because Gary was like, oh, just make like a bunch of picks. That's what I do. Which I don't like doing that either. I kind of like seeing how each game plays out, and then I make my picks based off of that, you know.
Yeah.
And then so that's what Sean was like. Yeah, I like to do my picks like the day of, but clearly, if you're gonna fucking wait till right before the game starts to make your picks, then it's obviously not working for you.
Right.
But whatever. Ain't gonna break my heart. So last night, well, I guess we just go down through this series since somebody was nice enough to.
Yeah, somebody put their work in this week.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I don't have school right now, so I got plenty of time.
Perfect.
So Celtics Bucks game 4 was last night.
Yep.
This past week we had game 3 and 4 in Boston. Both games Boston just fell apart in the third quarter for some odd reason. Still can't figure out why.
Because Paul Pierce cursed them.
Paul Pierce for sure cursed them. What he meant to say was the Celtics will not win another game for the rest of the series.
It's over, bud.
It's over. Yeah, I agree. I mean, even if they win this game, they could win. Obviously, this game, I mean by tomorrow's game. They could have a chance winning, but there's no way they're beating Milwaukee 3 in a row.
That's why.
I mean, I'll still believe in them, but just the way they've been playing, Giannis is at another level right now.
And even when he's not on the
level. Who's on the highest level of the playoffs right now? Is it Durant? Is it Harden? Is it Giannis? Or is it Kawhi?
I mean, really, Harden just came on. I feel like he was kind of non-existent for the first couple games there.
Well, the only thing that I think's to his credit is, let's be honest, he's playing the toughest competition of anybody.
Well, yeah. But then Durant is just a machine. Durant.
Kawhi looks literally unguardable.
Yeah, Kawhi's been looking ridiculous too. I would have said Damian Lillard last round, but this round he's
not better. This. No, McCollum's been better than him this series.
Yeah.
McKillum, they're calling him now.
Kyrie looks like garbage. So Kyrie.
Steph Curry hasn't looked good all playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I would say either Giannis or
Kevin.
Durant. Yeah.
I'm going with.
I just feel like every time Giannis touches the ball, he's either going to kick it out to a wide open person or he's going to get a dunk or an easy layup. Well,
if last game he starts hitting threes at a high clip, it's over. He'll take over the league.
Yeah, but he's not going to shoot them at a high. I don't know. Obviously, he's going to develop a better shot. I mean, his shot's already pretty decent.
Yeah, if you give him time and he can set it up and shoot it, it's decent.
Moving on to the Raptors 76ers. That game is tonight, right?
Yep.
In about 40 minutes.
Back in Toronto.
Hour, 40 minutes.
Dave is taking Ben Simmons. Just so you guys know.
Good, I can pull away from him.
Trying to pick different players or something. This series, I can't really figure out who's going to win. 1 minute, I think it was Toronto after game 1, and then all of a sudden 76ers go and win 2 in a row, and then the Raptors come back and win. I have no idea.
Really, it comes down to the health of Embiid. He was sick going into the last game, and he wasn't doing well the other loss. Somehow they managed to beat Toronto in game 2 there. And then...
Was that without him or something, too?
Game 2 was pretty much without him. He didn't have his best. He had 2 points, I think. That's what I mean. They somehow figured out how to win that one. And then apparently we got a message on Facebook. That's what that noise is, by the way. I figured that out. And then just the game on what was it? Friday. I'm getting all my dates confused here. Probably should have put when they were, I guess. I think it was just like a good Embiid showing that willed him over. So basically, if you see Embiid struggling early on, don't be surprised to see Embiid bye-bye. Or in the Sixers go bye-bye.
Did everyone catch that Mark Jackson said if Embiid stays healthy, he'll go down as the greatest big man to ever live?
I mean, I could see that.
But he's not going to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So there's nothing to even argue about that. I don't know. I mean, there's a good crop of big men coming up right now. Like,
well, I'm just saying, like, to ever live, like, we're really gonna say if Embiid stays healthy, he's better than Shaq, Wilt, Kareem.
No. I mean, he can shoot.
That's what his argument is. What of those guys could shoot threes and stretch a defense and dribble and was agile at 7 feet tall?
Okay, but then you just throw in Dirk Nowitzki, like Dirk.
Well, how about Giannis?
Yeah. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's not a big guy, but he's 7 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize Embiid's the biggest guy in the NBA right now.
Is he
He's the heaviest.
Oh.
And when Zion comes into the NBA, he'll be the second heaviest right out the gate.
Zion's gonna be a bust.
What do they have in common? They both went to Duke.
Who?
Oh.
Embiid went to Kansas.
Oh, there you go. Whatever.
Embiid went to Kansas.
Kansas, Duke, Blue.
Did he even play? He played like a little bit. I got hurt.
Yeah, he did the Kyrie at Duke.
Yeah. That's why I got confused.
Oh, that was it. That's what confused you.
I was getting Kyrie and him mixed up.
Zion could be a bust. Who knows?
Ja Morant won't be a bust, though.
Anyway. You know who's...
college basketball on the notes, so I'm not saying anything.
You didn't see what?
College basketball on the note sheet.
You know who isn't a bust? Damian Lillard.
I mean, this series is kind of a bust, but...
This is not a bust. This is probably one of the better series in...
No, I said...
Oh.
No, the series
in this
Oh.
series, he's a bust.
Oh, yeah.
Except last game, he didn't play well, and then the fourth quarter came, and it became Damian Lillard time. Yep.
Yeah.
Too little, too late.
I would still take him at any point on my team.
How do we feel about Jamal Murray slowly? Well, I guess I should say quickly turning into a superstar.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
That's changed their whole team, because Jokic is a superstar.
Yeah.
And now they probably have 2.
When you guys all took him the other night, I was like, maybe I'll make some ground here. Which I did make some ground, but I thought I was going to make some more ground.
Yeah, because you took Kawhi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I don't know who the fuck to take in this series.
I know, that's why I'm stuck taking Tobias Harris. But I'm glad that someone bid on Ben Simmons, because he's been awful.
Yeah, I think I got one of the better performances. I think the only other better performance was the game after I picked Ben in the first round.
Got like a triple-double or something from him.
I got a triple-double, and then I think he got like 30 points the next game. So
He's only had 2 good games, because the rest has been...
Yeah, exactly.
This series is so tough. Like, I just don't know who to take, because...
I think I've taken all I can out of this series. Like, I've sucked all the players that probably would get us something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to touch any Raptors, because I really think they're going to come out of it.
Do you think they're going to beat the Bucks?
No, but then I have that series to decide, because I still have everyone on the Bucks, too.
Hi, Paige and Will. The little
I'm
thing I love about the grilled chicken sandwich is that
I like the grilled chicken sandwich too.
I like it too. It looks pretty goddamn good right now.
I'm basically putting I'm all in on Bucks Raptors or I get screwed in NBA one and done.
I already dabbled into the Raptors. Now I think I'm just gonna go all in on the Raptors getting eliminated. But I've already dabbled in the Sixers too, so I'm fucked either way. The way I look at it is I'm just hoping that the finals is just a sweep, and I can just take whoever I have left.
I honestly think the Bucks are going to the finals. That's why I haven't even touched the Bucks pretty much.
I think they are. But
I don't think I've taken anybody off the Bucks yet.
Anyone?
You took Chris Middleton, didn't you?
Did I take? Oh, I did take him. I think you're right.
I think even if Boston somehow was to come and win that series, I would take Boston over Toronto or the Sixers right now at this point. What I've seen in the NBA playoffs.
I mean, Boston's got to pull some shit out their ass. They're going to get through this series. But...
And then Toronto's just living and dying right now on Kawhi.
Literally.
But unfortunately for the 76ers, he's better than everyone on their team.
Yeah. Did you hear, side note, did you hear they already came out with the 2020 season odds?
No.
Currently, the Knicks are either 300 to 1 favorites or 16 to 1 favorites, depending on what happens in free agency. So if they get Durant, they shoot up to 16 to 1 odds because they're also banking on a good draft pick. So.
I saw a crazy report that the Warriors are basically expecting to lose like Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant this offseason.
That's the end of the dynasty if it happens.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if they kept Boogie, which I don't know if they will.
Just sign him to another $1 million contract.
I mean, you might as well. Like, he missed a majority. It's like he didn't really prove that he was like worthy of like a max contract or anything.
No.
You know. So, I mean, anywhere he goes, I would say he's probably going to sign for a short-term contract, unless somebody just has fucking money burning in their pocket that they're just dying to spend and just signs of just some ridiculous deal that he doesn't deserve. Which we all know in the NBA is very likely that it could happen. Just look at what the fuck is his name? Tyler. What was it? Tyler Johnson or something?
Yeah, Tyler Johnson got a crazy contract.
With the Heat?
Well, a whole bunch of them did at that point in time.
Yeah, that was when the salary cap like jumped up a ton. Oh, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, no, I'd love to see Klay like on a team where he's like the guy, because I think that he could be like maybe he's like a Harden, you know, where he just fucking just goes off.
I guess I just haven't seen enough of his game to believe in that. I've never seen him like dribble drive to the basket like he can take a game over that way.
Right.
All I know he can do is shoot and play really good defense.
But I mean, did you really see James? I mean, obviously
you saw James Harden had dribbling ability in college because he had to be the man at Arizona State. I didn't see Klay Thompson in college. I can't even remember where he came from.
Washington.
It is Washington.
Washington.
Yeah. It was Washington. I mean, but do you really have to take over the game in that way? Like, I understand that, like...
Well, to make him stand off his three-point shot, you have to make him honest.
But I've seen him drive it in and pull up. Like, he doesn't... I don't know. Like, I think he's, like, sneaky athletic. Like, I don't think... that people really, just because he's so good at shooting that he doesn't really have to play a game like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I've seen him body people down. I know he can post.
Right.
He's strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he surprises me and he has a Devin Booker like game.
Right.
Booker's not overly like quick to the basket, but he keeps people honest and can score a lot.
By the way, a quick fact check: Klay Thompson came from Washington State.
Oh, so it was Washington.
No, you say that around these parts, you get stabbed.
Where are you getting this fact from?
Wikipedia.
Yeah, they're wrong. I don't believe it.
It's a big difference between crimson and ugly silver versus purple and gold around these parts.
At least I got the state right. All right.
Yeah, you were close.
All right. Yeah. ESPN says Washington State also.
Oh.
I'll take it, I guess. Do we think? I mean, so we got what, 3 series tied at 2-2. How many of those series are going to go 7?
Just one of them.
Just one. Which one? Warriors Rockets?
Yeah.
Or Trailblazers Nuggets?
I got Warriors Rockets.
I got Blazers Nuggets.
I think Blazers Nuggets go 7 for sure. I don't think either one of them's like that much better than the other.
I honestly think the Rockets are going to take the next 2 from Golden State. I think they've buying in on the hype train.
You are high as a kite, man.
You know,
I think the Rockets are going to win 4 in a row against Golden State.
Golden State didn't look impressive in the first 2. It was more like the Rockets lost those 2 games. So
but the Rockets just won a game by 4 and a game by 5, but they looked impressive.
Neither teams really looked impressive.
Exactly. So why would you think that Rockets are just going to take the next 2?
Because I need to be the basketball expert.
There it comes out.
There's no way they go. No, there's no way they win.
What's my playoff
against the Warriors? Not a chance. I will bet anything on that. What do you want to bet?
What do you want to bet?
What do you want to bet?
I'm gonna be in town in a month, so.
All
right. Let's just do our classic shotgun.
Shotgun?
Yeah.
All right. AKA Kevin just sipping his beer if he loses.
No, I will at least chug the beer. I won't. I don't want to make a mess wherever I am.
Well, just drop it on the floor first.
Yeah.
You can shotgun outside.
I'll just point the camera out the window.
Yeah. Be all right.
All right.
I think 2 of these series. I
think Toronto is about to win 2 in a row.
Like, that's the series but I have no idea who's gonna win that series. But for some reason, I just don't feel like that series is going 7 games. But I feel like the other 2 definitely could. I really thought the Rockets were out of it, and then they miraculously came and won the 2 games. So.
Well, Harden came alive at home.
Yeah.
Which is what you said way back, because I was already thinking, man, Warriors might sweep. But you were the one telling me, dude, you got to chill out. All the Warriors did was their job.
Yeah.
Now it's the Rockets' turn. And you were right. The Rockets did their job.
Right. Yeah, it's so weird.
That's why I'm going with 7. I think that one, everyone might just do their job.
Yeah. It's so weird because, like, NBA, like, I feel like home court advantage is so important. Like, home games mean you can literally make or break your series. Where, like, you go to fucking NHL, and I feel like home ice doesn't mean shit. Like
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter where you're playing. It's so weird. But we got Raptors, 76ers, and Blazers, Nuggets tonight. So we'll see who can pull ahead in those series.
Someone's getting the upper hand these games.
Moving on to a little bit of NFL news here. Bucks may already be falling apart before the season even starts here. What's going on with your Bucks there, Kevin?
What we do best. A little off season.
Here, Paul just retired.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, he was good last year, so I can't complain. But the fact that he's gonna have season-ending neck surgery because of his fractured neck already. We're talking what? We're in May 7th. Season doesn't start until September.
Right.
He's already being ruled out for the season. Single car crash. I don't even know the full details about this single car crash, but usually but
I mean, if he was like drunk or high or something, I mean, that would have definitely made the news. That would have been like in all, So I don't know. Maybe he was, or if he was speeding, but I didn't see anything about any of that. So
if it's just whiplash, come on, suck it up.
I think yeah, like just like it was just whiplash. Like if it was just whiplash, then it wouldn't be a fractured neck.
Yeah, no. Whatever. I'm fine.
Fractured neck is kind of a big deal. Especially with what he does as a career. Not really something you want to fuck around with.
Nah, that's Peyton Manning. Pretty much retired because of neck issue.
Yeah, but came back and won that Super Bowl.
Did he win it?
He won it. He won it. Just because he looked like Chad Pennington out there throwing fucking lame ducks. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys can recover from this.
Well, if JPP makes your team, then you have bigger problems.
We did
I heard
draft.
he was going to play two ways this year. He's going to play running back and defensive end.
I think they drafted a lineman too, so it's not too.
You did. You drafted another defensive tackle to go right alongside McCoy.
Yeah, there you go. See, so we're fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Can't run down our throats, but you can run around us, so we're good. Actually, we have Carl Nassib, who came through for us last season. Big star of Hard Knocks last year. I don't know if he's still on the team, though. But last year, he helped on the outside, so.
Well, so will Levante David.
Yeah, just line him up on the other side. We're good. Yeah. We're good. I'm more concerned about our weak secondary than anything.
Well, I'm more concerned about your offense.
You got to be in the game in order to have a chance anyway. So the year we won the Super Bowl, we had defense
and Brad Johnson
and Michael Pittman for our running back. So
yeah, nice.
We're good.
Did you have Keyshawn Johnson at that point?
Yeah. That's how he got his only Super Bowl.
Terrible.
Not as terrible as Wentz, but
what?
What?
What'd you say?
I said not as terrible as Wentz's Super Bowl performance, but
as his future Super Bowl performance.
I think he's talking about his non-existent one.
Oh, boom, boom.
Pretty sure he has a whole career ahead of him that he'll play in multiple Super Bowls and win multiple Super Bowls.
Oh damn!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Winning multiples. He's putting them in Elway category
He might even challenge Brady for most Super Bowl wins.
for the GOAT.
Now you're just starting to sound like Odell. You need to calm down.
Speaking of Odell already calling the Browns the dream team, or what? Is he turning into Vince Young over here?
He didn't want to say dream team.
Babe
he just
Ruth in
wanted to
it.
say Patriots.
But are the Patriots not a dream team?
No, they never are.
Oh, what do you mean they never are?
They're never the dream team. They just
Wow.
have the best coach.
Exactly, that's the dream.
They just get the job done.
To have a team that every year has a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Every single
team
year.
is like a team of superstars. They're never that.
They don't need to be, though.
The one year they were that, they went undefeated until they choked in the Super Bowl.
It's a fact. That was my favorite Patriots team.
That was one of my favorite seasons, as boring as it was to watch a team just win all the time. I just had this feeling they were going to blow it, but I didn't think to the Giants.
Yeah. I thought once they made it to the Super Bowl against the Giants, it was like, all right. Miami, you've had enough.
I think part of the problem was that they thought that too. So
Yeah. I think part of the problem was everyone thought it, except the Giants, apparently.
So Odell's basically was he saying that they're turning the Browns into the new Patriots?
He says he's going to be there for the next 5 years, and that 5 years, watch out. They're going to win everything.
Yeah, he thinks they're just going to keep on winning, is what he's saying. Super Bowls.
So what he's saying is that after Brady retires, Belichick's going to go to the Browns?
Come back to the Browns.
Go full circle?
Yeah. I did this with one shit show NFL team. Let's go with another. I mean,
guys, trying to avoid a repeat of last week.
No dramatic ends. I mean, if you
That's
think
why I'm not outside this time. I would love to be, but no charger nearby is no bueno.
just gotta get an extension cord.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how this light's gonna hold up in this room. I gotta get like a floor lamp, put like a brighter light in here. I don't think it's gonna turn into that like the first episode where I just got increasingly darker and darker until I turned into one of those things where like, you know, when they're interviewing somebody but they don't want to know his identity.
Yeah.
That was basically me in the very first episode.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Check it out.
I have like the disguised voice and everything.
So, in the next 5
My
years,
screens are too bright.
for
I
Odell
can't turn.
Beckham at the Browns,
There we
do
go.
they even win one Super Bowl?
In the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Do we
Spoiler!
think they even win one?
Spoiler!
Oh, you put that on?
Yes, that's coming up.
Come on, Corey, pay attention.
Ah.
Sorry.
Okay, great minds think alike.
Okay, moving on. We'll find out our answers later, I guess.
So moving on to some San Francisco 49ers news. Apparently, I don't know what Nick Bosa actually. What did he tweet something in the past? Is that what
He
happened?
tweeted in the past about Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling thing. He wasn't a fan of it.
He also had homophobic and racial. He also liked homophobic and racial things in the past too.
Can we talk about for a second, like if we were getting like after like this happens every single draft, right?
Mhm.
Every draft in the past like 3, 4, 5 years or so. Somebody always go. I don't know who the fuck is digging this far back in people's tweets. First off, like you got nothing better to do with your time than to like go back on like years on people's tweets.
Apparently not.
The NFL doesn't.
Well, it's not the NFL. It's somebody finding it and then posting about it, and then it just blows up, obviously. But like, I don't know. At this point, like, if I was at 33 years old, getting drafted in the NFL, I would just delete my non-existent Twitter account because I don't know what I've even tweeted. I don't think I've tweeted anything, to be honest with you. But I still wouldn't trust it, and I would just delete it or put that shit on private or something.
Just stay on Snapchat where it disappears.
Exactly. Don't ever leave evidence behind.
And if someone makes evidence, then you can see who's got it.
Yeah. And then you go Aaron Hernandez on them and fucking go kill their ass.
Whoa.
It's a little too drastic of a turn there.
Too far.
My bad.
Jeez.
We're off the Patriots now, man.
Yikes.
We're not talking about them anymore.
Got a little fired up. Sorry. I'm good now.
The Brewdog, huh?
Brewdog's getting to me. But anyways, Richard Sherman supports his new teammate Nick Bosa, and basically said he doesn't care what anybody says as long as they can play
And are a good teammate. Which he did say further down in the article, if he's not a good teammate, then he will have a discussion with him.
But I mean, really, Richard Sherman his career is kind of non-existent at this point. So who the fuck cares what Richard Sherman says anymore?
Well, like Nick Bosa manned up and said, "Hey, I'm growing. I'm getting more mature as I get older." And he goes, "In what better place to learn more about a culture than San Francisco, where I'm going to be surrounded by all different kinds of people."
Mm-hmm.
Which is his way of saying he's in Gay Town now.
Yeah. So
keep the homophobic slurs to yourself.
He will. It's I hate this stuff that comes out like this,
especially when it's someone from college. Like if it was like a 10-year vet, I would say one thing, but you're talking about a kid. How often in high school did you say things that you would not want known public right now?
Exactly. Yeah. Use homophobic slurs, all that stuff.
I'm trying to think. 31. I'm 31.
I gotta be honest too. In white culture, that word is thrown around a lot, and gay joking with each other is done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the black culture, I do know, just being around it enough up at school and stuff, that's not something they joke about. It's not funny to them. Yeah. So that is two differences. So I could see where Richard Sherman, he's taking a good stance. He's being mature about it, but that would offend other people because it's not funny to them.
Yeah. And you just don't know. You haven't lived certain aspects. So I'm usually one to forgive and forget if it's happened back then, but if it's something that's going to start popping up on a daily or weekly basis around my friends or coworkers, I'm not going to stand for it. I think it was Kevin Hart tweeted something out 10 years ago and apologized for saying whatever, and then it got brought back up, and that's why I didn't host the Oscars this year, I believe. And it's just when is enough?
Like he said, I already apologized for it because the Oscars wanted him to apologize again.
Yeah.
Because people were still offended at the Academy.
Yeah. We're all not perfect. You're not perfect.
Right.
Especially if you're watching us. So, actually, you are perfect. Don't ever leave us.
In my eyes, baby.
Shout out to Sharapova.
That's exactly who I was talking to.
Just stay off social media.
Glad you caught that.
Jesus. Mind your business. Unless it's about sports business.
Sports! Moving on to the best sport. My favorite sport.
So I was just looking at our standings here. I would just like to point out that since week 4, our NASCAR fan hasn't won anything.
Let's also get to the point that he's only won 1 week.
I mean, it was a big week.
At this point, it's just getting embarrassing for you guys. Like, do you guys? I mean, you guys can throw in the towel at any point.
It's not embarrassing for me. I will gladly take second place and then do my run that I did last year. It's Cory. Like, he picked the winner, but didn't pick him because it goes against everything he stands for.
He does that all the time.
I've only picked the winner
Twice.
4 times this year.
Oh, 4. Sorry. None of which happened to fall.
Well, I think like 2 or 3 of them
excuse me.
could have actually picked, right?
No.
The first one you could have picked.
The first one I could have. Kyle.
Brad Keselowski could have. No, you
could have done the Keselowski. Yeah, I could have done 3 of them.
Yeah. So you kind of just suck for not. Like, I don't like. I don't know what your strategy is anymore.
Yikes nominee. That's what he is.
I hope he gets I hope you get yourself a yikes honorable mention.
At the end of the season, if I'm not in first, I'll give it to you.
You really think you're gonna get it first?
Could happen.
Here's my question: what's more offensive, the fact that you've only gotten 1 1 win this season, or that I've gotten 2 1 points and I'm only behind you by 5?
The latter. Because in all honesty, out of all of my drivers I've picked, I've only picked 2 drivers, that can win a race, and 1 did, and 1 didn't. So I'm not that offended by that. If I start taking Keselowski and Logano and Harvick and Truex and they don't win races, then I'll be a little more down on myself. But I haven't done that yet. Only Boyer and Kyle Busch, who I've taken, can win races. And Kyle Busch did and Boyer didn't.
This race looks like it's all like top dogs that are good at this track.
Because it's the 1.5 miler. And so it's like Truex could go on a run here. He's the king of 1.5 milers. I almost took him again, but I was like, I got to see it to believe it. So I went with Logano. He hasn't won since week 3. I think he's due for his 2nd win of the year. He's good here. But I am staying away from the big names still, and I took Alex Bowman, who out of the young guns is good here.
I'm taking Byron just because he's a good old consistency. Looked at his point total the last couple of weeks, and they've been pretty. And
yeah, Bowman's coming 2nd 2 weeks in a row, so I'm probably due for a wreck.
You got a 1-pointer right there. And that's all I'm hoping for is Cory getting low enough points where I can take 2nd place, and I just need to maintain. I thought about taking Truex Jr. too. I was going to have to wait for Steffan to make his pick, but I decided against it. I'm going with consistency and someone he already picked, so. It worked for me 3 weeks ago with Logano, so that's why I'm going with it. Hamlin screwed me. Little tired of big names right now.
Hamlin was disappointing at Talladega.
Who?
Hamlin. He's really good at restricted plate racing. Really good. For him to get a 1, that's tough. But he has another chance because Daytona's coming up in a few weeks.
This is a tough pick. Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. still racing?
He was covering the Kentucky Derby last weekend, so maybe.
Yeah, I took him. His name's Alex Bowman now.
doing it.
Taking the
Damn.
Truex Jr.
Pull the
Hopefully you
trigger.
both get ones.
You know I don't score less than 25 fucking points. Now I have to change it from 30 to 25.
Apparently, Suarez only gets around 25 points, huh?
Yeah.
I thought about taking him this week. I was like,
If you want 25 points or somewhere around there.
that's why I didn't take him. I'm like, I'll save him for later once I have the second place.
You'll probably get 24 with him, so he averages out to 25.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, the only Suarez, since he comes from the open wheel racing, he'll do well when you hit the road courses. So like the Roval, Watkins Glen, he'll be a lot more than 20 points there. I just didn't want to hold on to him that long.
What do we got here? 20 more races to go?
Well, next week is the halfway of the regular season because that's All-Star Week.
I hope Steffan runs the gamut during the regular season, so when I take it, it's just that much more sweeter.
No.
Like that, it's like Thanos with the last Infinity Stone.
Yeah. Should have gone for
Just
the
like
head.
That, your season's...
Except, remember last year, I didn't even do well. I came in first, right? In regular season?
Yeah, that was because second place choked. And third place was too far behind to do anything.
I was right on his ass, and then Boyer Crash got me.
I think
one.
I only
you
lost.
One in the chase, you're done.
Yeah.
You're
I
done.
think I had. I only finished like 18 points behind you, Steffan. After starting out 100, so if I start off with like a slight point advantage, that 25 points. Wait, is it 50 or 25?
I thought it was, 0, 50, and 100, right?
Yeah.
Commish.
Yeah. We said this season we were doing 0, 50, and 100 again, and next season we'll talk about changes.
Okay, so see?
I think whoever wins this season should have, like, the deciding factor. Like, they should trump. Especially if it's a 3-time winning champion.
Well, before we get into bucket, do we want to briefly go over UFC? I'm gonna have another UFC podcast with Ben tomorrow.
Speaking of dominating something,
that's what reminded me. Let's go from one to the other.
This isn't even fun anymore.
Hold on, I gotta go close my door.
Was it 236? 235?
237.
237. So Ben, Mr. Consistency here, 2 points each for the last two fights.
I believe Steffan laid out the gauntlet at maybe over under 1 point.
I'm just gonna say that this is one of those times where being consistent is not good. When you're consistently getting twos.
Yeah.
At least my consistency in NASCAR is a good thing.
Yes.
We got
His
Rose
consistency.
Namajunas finally coming back after her last fight. I think was when Connor threw the dolly into the bus. I think that was the last fight. Versus Jessica Andrade. I like Andrade. I'm going with Andrade by decision just because it's down in Brazil. That's her native land. Rough outing for Rose. Rose has got to go down to Brazil and fight a Brazilian. That doesn't seem fair to the champ, but hey. I feel like this is more like a setup fight so the UFC can move on past Rose. That's how I feel about this fight.
I think Andrade's style kind of plays into Rose. Rose would prefer someone that comes forward and is aggressive. That's why I have Rose winning, because I think she's just going to... Rose is very durable, so I think she could take some punishment and be down on the scorecards and wait for Andrade to tire and then take her out with her well-known ground game. I feel like that's her game plan. I'm pretty sure that's her game plan. Can she execute it? I don't know. I'm going with it.
I did notice, I did a little research, and this is why I have so many decisions this week, is because all but 2 of the perfects are decisions. So I gotta catch up to Cory now. I'm playing the catch-up game. It's a safer, as Ben would say, but whatever.
This is for the belt, right? So 5 rounds?
Yes.
Yes. I was like, I don't remember agreeing to buying a belt. In the next fight, we got going Andrade by knockout in the 3rd. Aldo versus Volkanovski. I think Aldo's just getting up there. He's looked good in his last 2 fights. This was a tough one for me to pick, and I just went with Volkanovski because he's coming in on a 5-game, or at least a 5 fight. I didn't look too deep into his history, but the last 5 he's won by either decision or knockout. So I'm surprised I didn't take decision here, but I figured why not go knockout.
Someone's getting knocked out in this fight. I can tell you that. But I think Volkanovski's going to come out strong against Aldo, and that's going to be a bad game move. I think Aldo's a better striker than him, and he's going to get caught quickly and early.
Am I getting the Steffan kiss of death? Nope. All right. Cory is.
No,
Sweet.
Cory is. Hey, don't. I've been decent this year so far.
You've got points at this point this year.
I think this is the test fight for Volkanovski for the UFC to see if they can push him into stardom or if he's going to flounder against stiff competition. Because he really hasn't fought anyone on Aldo's level. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think he had one fight. I can't remember against who, that was kind of up to where Aldo is. So we'll find out exactly where he is, if he's on the path to the next title contender or what. Then you got Silva versus, I think this is actually the co-main event. For some reason they switched Aldo.
Someone explain to me how Anderson Silva is still fighting.
Well,
he's doing decent.
That's why I went with what I went with, because I really think the UFC is giving him this guy to give him a win and let him stay relevant. For some reason, they need him to be relevant.
Yep. Silva.
I don't know. The Killer Gorilla.
Who is... I actually picked this one just because of the age of the Killer Gorilla. I saw how old he was, and I was like, it's like 38 versus 44, Anderson Silva. I was just like,
Well, old as shit.
That's what I mean. I really think they're just giving Anderson a win under his belt so they can put him in another title fight for money.
Well, I mean, he's already got a win under his belt. This is another win.
Yeah, well,
he'll be
since
streaking.
Adesanya or whatever.
Middleweight. Yeah, I mean, that division is already stacked. I don't see them giving him a title.
Well, they're going to give him another big name after this fight.
I know it's been rumored, they announced 242 was happening in Dubai, I believe, and that's going to be Nurmagomedov's next fight against Poirier. So that'll be interesting. Trying to think who else is in middleweight. I don't remember. And then we got Thiago Alves. Like, this card, if you were back in 2012, this is like the card. This is like Flashback Friday for the UFC, except it's Saturday. Because you also have Big Nog fighting in the prelims, or Little Nog, one of the two Nogs. So you got Thiago Alves versus this guy from Greece, I believe.
No, Argentina.
There you go. Stropoli. The Lee got me confused. I started thinking Greek for some reason. I just like Alves by decision. Stropoli just didn't have like the card resume, I guess, to convince me otherwise.
I think that's why Staropoli is. I'm going the opposite. Is getting Alves. Unlike Aldo, who actually still has it and can fight, I feel like Alves is losing it as of late. Been really hit or miss. So they're giving Staropoli a name that they think that the UFC thinks that he can beat to push him to the next level.
And then
this is how I pick my fights, by the way. I just think promoter. If anyone ever wondered how I'm doing this, I think in the promotional stance. Who am I pushing?
It sometimes works for you. Sometimes it pays off big, and sometimes it comes crashing down. Hoping for a crashing down this week because it's Brazil, so everything's gonna be fixed. Towards the, maybe I should change my Volkanovski now that I think about it. No. Then we have Francisco Trinaldo versus Diego Ferreira. I have no idea who either of these fighters are. I just looked at their resumes. Cory's going submission. I'm going knockout. Steffan, you go on the opposite of us. Trinaldo.
Ferreira's actually fought decent comp.
Yeah.
So I gave him credit for that.
Yeah, same.
I feel like the UFC wants him to debut well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're giving him someone that's beatable and makes him look good.
I think Trinaldo's like 2-3 in his last 5 fights I saw, which kind of was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't go with the other guy.
Like I said, this is just the UFC giving Ferreira some exposure to the fan base and starting to build him. I just don't know when he's going to win. This is he's supposed to win. So the tricky part is how do you pick the 5 spot and get it right all the way through?
Just like this.
Decision. How'd I know? But you picked the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I guarantee you that I get at least as many points as Ben does this week.
all right, well, we will see. Let me make that note on my desk so I don't forget tomorrow. Steffan. If he picks the same as you, though, I'm going to be mad. Gets the same amount of points.
Yeah, but he never knows like what we've picked, right? He usually picks before he knows.
No, well, it depends on how I do it.
Well, if he's serious about trying to catch up to me, I don't think he's just going to pick everything Steffan picks.
Yeah, I know I know I gave him Cory's picks because Cory had his on there.
2 different ones than you, really.
So,
yeah.
We'll see. It's a okay fight card. I will say, I do like ESPN. I just noticed with their whole new contract with UFC and stuff, I can watch like 236 right now, part of the ESPN Plus package. So it doesn't take as long with the fights like they used to. Like, I think you could go 2 or 3 pay-per-views before you were able to watch it on Fight Pass. So I do like the turnaround, how it's even before the next pay-per-view. I don't know exactly when that happened, so I'm going to keep an eye on it this time to see what happens when you can watch 237 for ESPN Plus members. Will I be illegally streaming? Maybe.
Probably.
Depends on what I'm doing Saturday. Might go watch Endgame again. All right. Cry some more.
I was gonna go watch Endgame actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and I looked at tickets for Movie Tavern at 11 o'clock in the morning or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole fucking theater was full already.
Yeah, I don't understand. Don't you people have jobs?
That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to go during the I figured I'll just go during the day on my day off.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will be there.
Apparently everyone else has the day off.
Yeah, and apparently nobody else fucking works on those days either. So
when I went and watched it on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? No, Monday. At 9:30, the theater was sold out. Granted, it was a smaller theater, but still, it was sold out. It's like,
Right.
I thought I was gonna see like maybe 12 people, 15 that may have like taken the day off so they could watch it, like me.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't take the day off. It just worked out that way for me, but still.
I'm hoping to get out and see it within these next 5 days. No promises though. I have to find a showing where there's not a lot of people, because I get annoyed by people at movie theaters very easily.
Yeah, I got annoyed. Like the one woman that sat next to me like would laugh
laughed at everything.
Yeah, like any meaningless joke, and then you had the guy eating popcorn next to me that sounded like he was in my ear eating the popcorn. Like,
so that's why I hate going to movies. Like,
that's why I don't go either usually. But for the Marvel movies, like, I think
there's certain movies I will go, but usually I'll just like fuck it. I'll just wait till it comes out.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm probably going to see Toy Story 4, Spider-Man, the next one that's coming out. That reminds me, have you ever had like a movie like, unless you actively seek out spoilers for Endgame, this movie has not been spoiled to the point where they have a warning before the new Spider-Man trailer. Hey, this is gonna spoil some stuff if you watch this trailer. Might not want to watch it. Otherwise, enjoy if you have watched Endgame. Like,
I think the next movie I'll watch in theaters after Endgame is probably
I already know.
It. Part 2 of It.
You know what I'm gonna watch is the next Fast and Furious movie. Those are always fun because of the sound.
Yeah. That shit's just gotta end, man. How's that series still going?
Because
it's like Saw at this point. Like, it just never ends.
It's not Fast and Furious. It's Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and the other guy.
I might
what it's called now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might give a look at the new Godzilla in the theater. I think it'd be better than at my home TV.
Godzilla does look good.
I'll wait for my home TV.
I gotta go out and buy a new TV soon, so.
It's like I'm at the movie theater.
I think I'm gonna splurge a little bit. I might get like a sound system too, maybe.
Especially depending on which movie or what time I watch the movie. I've noticed it's like watching it at the movie theater. Because usually I get stuck in the smaller movie theater anyway, which is just like a giant screen with a bunch of recliners. So.
Right.
There's only a select few that usually is more expensive that has like the IMAX or the Dolby Cinema. And right now, those are all sold out for Avengers Endgame. So it's like, damn you.
Corey, did you hear? My parents moved the TV downstairs. And it ended up like my dad like dropped like the wrench on it or something.
Yeah, and it broke the screen.
Yeah, he dropped it right on the screens. So they go and they got it all hung up there and everything, and they turn it on. And there's just like streaks, you know, like whenever you like. And my mom was like, "Maybe it just needs time to warm up." I'm down there looking at it. I'm like, no.
That's not how these work nowadays.
No.
I'm like, that's not gonna warm up. And then like we got up close to it, and you could see like right where the fucking wrench like hit the screen. It was like a little like the actual screen itself wasn't cracked, but like underneath it must have like where the LED bulbs are and everything.
Yeah. That sucks.
I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to buy a new TV. Like that's not.
Luckily for them, LEDs aren't that expensive anymore.
Yeah, they got one for like 50 or 50-inch for like $400 something.
Yeah,
they keep running sales right now.
Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to go buy one. So now I need a.
Oh, graduation gifts. That's why they're on sale right now.
Oh, I need a bigger TV for my living room once I have a living room.
You can book that.
I will book it.
Speaking of book it. Our first one was spoiled earlier by Corey.
Goddamn Corey.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Definite
Nominee.
yikes moment.
2 yikes moments in one podcast for Corey. Browns are the new Patriots, and I added something off of the notes. Will win multiple Super Bowls in the next 5 years.
I'm passing.
In the next how many years?
5 years.
5 years. Multiple Super Bowls passing.
Oof. I am
For sure
also
passing.
passing. I'm high on the Browns. I think they'll do well this year.
I think they're going to do really well
Probably
this
to
year.
the point where there might be a bet on the line. That might be our team that we bet on. Haven't gone
I
through
like
the
that.
schedule yet.
I like that one.
So we'll make a side note. We'll see what. Who knows how I really turn out. Or you guys. Last year it was you guys.
Yeah.
We lost. Yes.
The year before it was me with the Jets. You with the Raiders. So
Yeah, but you barely lost. We lost big.
yeah.
Wasn't even close.
You guys were embarrassed by the poor Oakland/Las Vegas Raiders.
I mean, I feel like if you did the Raiders again, I'd probably still go. I'd go over again. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice. Still shame on you. I'm gonna be pissed about it.
I mean, this
But I'm
year
still
they
gonna-
might have a
But I'm
chance.
still gonna buy into it.
All over that Gruden hype train. Home teams. And home teams win out the rest of the Houston Golden State series. There are
Book
3
it.
Pass.
pass.
I think Golden State wins next two.
I think Houston wins the next 2, so that's why I'm passing.
You're on some good shit.
I think Golden State goes 2-1.
It's Dogfish
2-1.
Head. That's what I'm on.
Yeah, Corey, we get it. You took the home team the rest of the way.
Okay, good.
Only 3 games left. Golden State's home for 2 of them. But thanks for pointing that out first.
I just felt like I wasn't included. You guys.
Winner of the Bucks Celtics series will make it to the finals.
Book it.
Book it.
So you guys are just betting on the Bucks going to the finals?
Mhm.
Celtics could make it, man.
No, they aren't going to.
I'm gonna be glad when the Celtics don't
I'm
make
not-
it, just to
I'm
watch
not sold on
Steffan's
that
bracket
yet.
go.
Watch this move by Brad Stevens. He's gonna start Terry Rozier over Kyrie Irving next game. They're gonna fucking dominate. Kyrie's out next year. Fuck Kyrie. Go to the Knicks. Go wherever you want to go.
You love Kyrie.
Go join up with LeBron. Not this series, I don't. And now I'm just over him. I don't even want to deal with him anymore. Done with it. Trade him away. Get Anthony Davis instead. We'll take Terry Rozier as our starting point guard. Be fine.
All right, I'm passing.
All right, that's fine.
You think Sixers or Raptors?
Toronto, he's all over.
You were just talking about how you thought Bucks were going to win it.
I have Bucks in my predictions, but I kind of, after seeing Toronto in the playoffs, I'm becoming a believer.
Oh my God, stop. You know what Toronto is. Toronto cannot get it done.
But they have Kawhi this year
They can't get it done.
and a new coach.
All right, the West.
Coach come in and say, "Oh, we're finally trying to win finals." Is that what he said?
Apparently they are.
What do you mean? Apparently they are. It's the same thing they do every year. They do good in the
They
regular
get to the
season.
quarters and lose to Cleveland.
They get far in the final or in the playoffs, then they lose either in the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals or the quarters or the semis or whatever.
Well, this year I'm throwing a ban down on Kawhi.
You're on whatever Kevin's on, talking about Rockets winning the next 2.
I even went out and bought his New Balance sneakers. I'm in love.
Jesus. give me a quiet laugh at least. Come on, Kevin. Oh, you got it.
I got the
I'm
Kinda.
might know what they're
Sorry.
talking about.
Ah,
Sounds
crap.
like some.
Same difference.
There it is. All right. Western Conference Finals has a minimum of 6 games.
Pass.
Yeah.
I'm-
Pass.
I'm booking it. I'm saying they're going to Game 6. Uh,
I think if Portland makes it, maybe, but I think if Denver makes it, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see them taking 2 either.
I could see Portland taking 2.
I could see Portland.
Yeah.
Portland
Stephan's
could
with
put-
you if Portland does it.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar announced his retirement from the UFC last week, or at least Dana White reported it, prompting the UFC to finally announce DC's next fight against Miocic, the rematch, a year and a half later. After this next fight for DC against Miocic, both fighters will retire.
Miocic and Cormier?
Yep.
Pass.
Pass.
I'm bucking it because I think DC's going to win and then ride off into the sunset. I don't think he wants anything to do with Jones. I think Brock
Why would
Lesnar...
Stipe retire if he loses?
Because he's lost to DC twice. What's the point? He's not the best fighter anymore.
He could fight John Jones.
Right.
No, that's not as exciting. If he wins, then it's more exciting.
Well, maybe he keeps fighting and wins a few and then is able to fight John Jones.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Stipe retiring. That's why I passed.
Well, are you going to book that DC fights John Jones after Stipe?
I feel like
At heavyweight, I'd book it.
DC, he's never actually, beaten John Jones, right?
Right.
Right.
And I feel like, I don't feel like he wants to, ride off into the sunset until he beats him. So I feel like he would give it one more shot.
Well, I feel like DC, even though I think he's the GOAT already, really believes he has to get a win on John Jones to be the GOAT. His resume is always going to fall just short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless he gets one. To him.
Brock Lesnar was that golden goose where he wouldn't have had to fight John Jones.
Right. He needed another really big name.
I just don't see this fight happening for one reason or the other, so I'm not going to book it. This next one, I guess, was kind of spoiled earlier. Steffan gets more points this weekend than Ben in UFC.
I'm going to change it now that you brought this up. I book this shit that I get 2 or more points more than Ben this week.
I'm not going all crazy. I'm just saying book that stuff.
I'm going to pass.
So you're okay with 1 point, but not 2 points?
Nah. Come on.
I'm going to pass. I think he's got 1 week. He's due. So...
Is he, though?
You know, I know karma's harsh.
Does he really know what the fuck he's talking about? I don't think he does.
No, he's not really our MMA expert.
He talks like a very elegant, he really,
He's a salesman.
he really portrays like he knows what the fuck he's talking about in UFC, but I really don't think he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I think he knows just as much, aka just as little as I do in the UFC.
Dang.
You can book that.
Wow.
Shots fired.
But I also love the guy, so shout out to Ben.
He is our 2-time beer mile champion, so defending, reigning.
But I promise you this as well. He will not be a 3-time champ.
Ooh. That's what we're saying about you in NASCAR. How's that working out for us?
Not working out well for you guys at all. But yeah, no, I will get 2 or more points. Guaranteed. 2 or more points.
How's our NBA playoff brackets looking?
Not even looking at it.
It's
probably working out just as well as my NHL bracket.
Well, it's basically you and me, Corey.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I think I had Celtics winning it all or something.
No, you had them in the finals, though.
Yeah.
against Golden State, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he also had the Thunder going to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, but so did I.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. Oof, I really needed the Nuggets in a big way.
I have the Bucks and the 76ers, even though I'm all on the Kawhi train now.
Is it 3 points for the series, right? Or 2 points? How does that work?
I don't remember what you did last year.
So you get 1 point for
The team.
the team. If you get the
I
team,
remember
right.
that.
And then it was 3 points, I think, if you get the series right.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Well, Kevin's pretty far ahead.
Yeah.
We got a lot of series
I'm
right.
just from the first round. Jeez.
Yeah,
Steffan's only got 1 series right, completely,
I only
and
have
then
2.
Corey's got 2. I've got 1,
4.
2, 3, 4. Yeah. So balls in your court, guys.
We're really riding on Houston.
Ooh.
You need Houston. If Houston wins, we're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm out anyways, because, yeah. Unless the Celtics make a miraculous comeback.
Right.
Which I'm not counting on.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Because Corey would end up beating me.
Yeah. No, it's just. This is the only series I haven't really kind of got like a chance on is that Nugget Trailblazer one. Everything else is plausible still, so I could definitely.
NBA is bullshit.
So is it an extra 3 points or is it 3 points in total?
3 points total.
Okay.
For what?
You get the bonus point.
For picking the champion?
No. For picking the series, so you get 1 plus 2.
So you only get 1 point if you pick the champ right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Listen, I didn't make the rules, okay?
Actually, we all did, but okay. Yikes.
I don't think we ever really I don't think we ever really figured out a scoring system.
I think
Just
mainly
kind
because everyone thought that Golden State was gonna win it.
yeah.
So-
We really haven't had like a competitive playoffs in a long time, so usually it was pretty much just like, all right, put Cleveland and Golden State in there, and then pick your winner.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Next year we'll get a little more into it next year.
All right.
This was a trial run year. But yeah, so let's hear some yikes, Corey.
All right. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, Steph Curry.
Yikes.
Yikes. He is supposedly the greatest shooter who ever lived. But the last 3 games, he shot 23%, 22%, and 28% from 3. So, in the words of Eric Killmonger, this is your king? He's not shooting the ball very well. He needs to get his life together. Maybe try to help Kevin Durant out a little bit.
Maybe
I know
not
it's
have
hard.
maybe not have a dislocated finger.
Well, I know it's hard when you're married to Aisha Curry to focus, but he's got to figure something out. He's been able to do it before, so maybe he'll get it back. Number 2, Barcelona. You were up 3-0, and you choked out the game to Liverpool.
In the second game. Yikes.
Yikes! What are you doing?
Second year in a row too.
I don't even know how that's possible. 3
Honorable-
goals. You
honorable
allowed
mention.
4 goals?
Honorable mention, yikes to Corey even mentioning soccer. Yikes.
Yikes at a
Well, it's the NFL offseason. He's got a lot of material to come up with.
Yeah, I gotta start making stuff up at this point. I got away from basketball for a little bit, but I'm going right back into it. Kyrie Irving gets a big yikes. I haven't seen him play this poorly. Last 3 games, 31% from the field, 14% from 3. 36 from the field, 25% from the 3. 22% from the field, 20% from 3. Bad. Actually, what am I saying? Awful. Just awful.
Absolutely awful.
Kyrie Irving, you wanted away from LeBron James. You said you could be the man of your own team. You'd leave him into the promised land. Not looking good, buddy. Not looking good. Which, unfortunately, you guys kind of predicted it earlier. Leads me into my number 4. I had to give Steffan one earlier in the year. And at this point, I have to give myself one.
Damn it. Someday I'll get in this list.
Yikes, Corey, what are you doing in NASCAR, buddy? You let someone get 2 zeros and you're only 5 points ahead? What is going on?
2 1s, but
okay. Very awful.
Might as well be zeros.
Yeah.
It might as well be zeros. I don't even know why I'm still picking.
Picking the way you are, at least. Jesus.
Number 5, back to basketball. I just can't get off of it.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Yes.
Gordon Hayward. Yikes. You were supposed to make Boston better. You haven't contributed on defense. And then to make matters worse, you're getting the most minutes off the bench and you are not contributing at all. I don't even... The point totals have been like 3, 8, and 13 in your last 3 games. It's not good. Not when you were a superstar in Utah. And I'm not going to believe that injury derailed you because Paul George is a straight-up stud. So I know you can recover. So that's it.
Paul George, by the way, it came out that he's going to miss most of the off-season or preseason next year after having rotator cuff surgery.
Russ had surgery also. But they didn't say about him missing time.
Yeah. So. All
there
right.
you have it. My 5 yikes. Maybe Kevin will make it. Will grace the yikes at some point. But right now, he's on the. He's riding the wave of mediocrity. I can't give yikes.
He's not terrible enough to give him a yikes.
Yeah.
He's also not good enough to be like.
I'm doing enough to get by.
Yeah.
Not getting the job done, but I'm not.
You're not getting a yikes on a positive yikes level, which I have given a sprinkle here or there, but not a yikes on a bad.
I don't think I've heard of a positive yikes from you yet.
I said yikes to the rest of the NBA because of Kevin Durant just dominating.
How's that positive?
It's positive to Kevin Durant.
You're just making shit up now.
Yikes.
Story of your life, right? Oh, boy.
Oh.
Well, if you guys got anything else, I gotta piss.
Same here. Maybe we'll have all watched Endgame next week. By next week's podcast, which may even be a Thursday podcast, according to Steffan.
Yeah, that's my only day off. So
FYI,
I work Monday,
Corey.
Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So
all right,
looks like we're going Thursday.
Yep.
By then we'll have the conference finals, hopefully. I don't know. There might be some random 5-day stretch between Golden State and Rockets again.
Good possibility.
We'll know more about the final episode of Game of Thrones, but we won't do a spoiler cast. We'll save that for the finale.
I'll be caught up by then, so we can talk about it.
Okay.
If you want.
And I think that's it. Always cool.
Shout out to all the mothers out there this weekend.
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy future Mother's Day to Shay.
Wow.
Yep.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Just
Just throw that.
nobody.
No one
We have
watches.
5 people listening. Nobody that actually knows her.
Oh yeah, that's true. Plus the two people that tuned in today.
That have tuned out by now.
Yeah. It's the end of the show. No big deal.
Well,
That's-
Steffan's making next week's. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, but take me off yet, so I finally congratulated her at least, so that was good.
That's true.
Yes.
Give me a golf clap for that one.
I can't. I'm holding up my laptop right now.
Oh, let's end this.